Now, so what is the purpose of automation? My purpose of automation is to automate all the manual regression test cases. Automation main purpose is to automate the regression test cases so that in the next regression cycle we run it from automation. So in regression test cases there will be n number of test cases, like say for example the scenario for login in the new tools demo. What we do, there may be 5 or 6 scenarios, like we give the right username and right password, we are able to log in. Then we are giving the wrong username, wrong password, then we are not able to log in. So let's say for example this, there are 2 test cases, we need to automate it. Okay, now you say, if I go in this way, public static, like this way in which I am writing the test cases, is it possible for me to automate both of the test cases? Yes, it is possible. We can write in this main, but will it not be like a, you can say, clumsy thing? In say in one main only I am writing 2 test cases, right? Two
Yes.
regression test cases, so it will be a bit clumsy. So but you know that in the Java file our execution start from this main function and ends in this main function, so there is no other way that I can write the second test case in a separate main, because one class can have only one main method. I couldn't have multiple main method. Like let's say for example I have one main method in which I write a test cases where I give the correct username and correct password and get the result. In another main, I can write, I can give incorrect username, incorrect password and do the login. So that cannot be done because I cannot write multiple main function inside the class, and I have only one main function, and from there the execution start and from there the execution stops. So there comes the problem. If I go by the normal way to write test cases, I cannot use the normal main method to automate all my test cases, because I'll be having 100 200 test cases to automate, and they are independent of each other. So in one main I cannot write the code for all those 100 and 200 test cases. So for that we will be using testng, so that if I have multiple point of execution in this Java file, I have only one point of execution, that is main function. Here the execution, in this function the execution starts and the execution ends. But in real scenario I will not be having one test cases, I'll be having 100 200 test cases. So I need to have 100 200 points of execution, so that each test cases will be independent of each other, and I will be able to automate n number of test cases which I want. Okay, so for that we will be using testng, which is a testing framework. So the first step before using testng is I need to install the testng plugin in my Eclipse. So for that what you need to do is you go to help, you go to Eclipse master place, you are getting why a testing framework is needed, right?
Sorry, sir.
You got my point. Why a testing framework is needed? Why we cannot automate our manual test cases, regression test cases, like 100 200 test cases in a single main function?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
Because I have only one point of execution. To automate 100 test cases, I need 100 point of execution, because all test cases execution should be independent of each other, right? Okay, so install, so to install testng plugin, first thing is I'll be going to help, then I'll be navigating to Eclipse master place, then I'll be searching testng. If you get testng in the search option, it's okay. There may be cases, right, you may not get testng. If you get testng like just a minute. Like here, it in the heading it will be written TestNG. Then there will be one button install. You just click it and install it. If I would have got TestNG, here it would have been written TestNG. I just have clicked install and it will be getting installed. If you don't get it in the Eclipse Marketplace, just go to install new software, help, install new software. Here you will be giving the site of the TestNG cloud, this one. I have already installed it, so it's showing me the like site in the suggestion.
Okay.
Okay. It is not searching because it has already been installed in my system. So once you do write the site and click on add, what will happen is, this is actually the wrong side. The right side is written in the screenshot. You need to click add. Then once you click add, you just give a name TestNG. This is anything you can give, but like have the right reference, you just give TestNG. Then again click add. So what will happen is a TestNG cloud will appear in the suggestion list. So you just check it out, check the checkbox and click next, and you will be going on next, normal install how you'll be doing. So it will get installed. Okay. I accept the terms and all, finish, install anyway, will be getting installed. So how you will confirm that the TestNG got installed in your Eclipse? Just right click in the project, go to build path, configure build path, then add libraries. Inside that you'll be seeing that TestNG appears. Before installing the plugin in the Eclipse, you will see that this doesn't appear. After installing the plugin, you will see that it appears here. Got my point? After it gets appear,
Yes, sir.
after it gets appear, you can also select it out and click next, so that TestNG will also be added in your project. Okay, then apply and close. So after that, you'll see that this particular option will get available inside your project. See, here I haven't added TestNG, so it's not available. Here I have added, so it's available here from the build path. You need to map it out to your project if you want to use TestNG in that. Okay.
Okay.
So now let's start with writing a new TestNG class. First, I don't need public static void main anymore. So I am not checking this checkbox because now I'll be doing using TestNG. So there is no requirement of public static void main method.
Okay.
See. So what is the substitute of public static void main? Because in my Java file, the execution started from public static void main. So for me, now the substitute for public static void main from where the execution will start is @test.
Okay.
See, now what is the difference in that class and this class is, let's see. Here my execution started from this public static void main. Okay. Here my execution will start from @test. So what is the difference? The only difference is that here I can have only one main method inside the class, but here what I can have is multiple @test. So if I have multiple @test, I have multiple point of executions. Right, my execution will start here, start with multiple @test. But if I would have done in the normal way, like using public static void main, I would have only one point of execution. So here I could not automate multiple test cases, but here I can automate multiple test cases and they will be independent of each other. Here I automated the test cases 1, here I automated the test cases 2, here I automate the test case 3. Because now I have multiple point of executions. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yeah. Ask. Is there any doubt, Tuina?
Sir.
In doubt? Huh?
No, sir, no doubt.
Okay, okay. You can. Here I am just printing it out. We'll later on see how to like integrate our real-time scenario. But just to make you know how things works, let's see by executing it out. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
See now this will not run as anymore. It will not anymore run as Java file. It will run as testng file. Got my point? See here,
Sir.
if I right click any of the file, earlier files, right click run as, it will show me Java application. But if I run this file, it will show me as testng test.
Yes, sir.
Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Because I have used @test, and this @test comes from which library? It comes from testng library. Okay, or .testng library. So I need to execute this particular as a testng test. See, all those which I printed got printed. So here what happened? I had 3 point of execution and all 3 point of execution got executed successfully. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what I saw is that using testng I could have multiple point of execution, so I could automate multiple test cases effectively, which I cannot do in main. So here comes the requirement of testng. Why testng is required and why we cannot automate in normal main. If I would have automated these 3 test cases in main, then I would have written all the 3 inside the same main, because I could not have multiple main method inside a Java block. So what will have happened if this particular test case would have failed? Then these two have also been impacted, but I don't need it, because if this test case failed, test case 1, test case 2, test case 3 don't need to have impacted by that, because maybe this functionality is working fine. Why it will get failed for this particular scenario? So these all would be independent of each other. Now if also this one fails, these two will execute and get passed. So we need to have multiple point of executions, and for that we cannot do in a single main method. We'll be using testng. So got a clear idea, means why testng came into picture, why we need testng for automating test cases?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the case, like I have multiple point of execution at the rate test. Okay. Now, there are some more annotations. This @test is called annotation of testng. Got my point? So you will see testng have also some added features. One is it has a reporting feature. We can do batch execution using testng. We can do parallel execution using testng. We can do grouping in testng. We can do parameterization in testng. So these are the 5 advantages of testng, you can say, which is the added feature it provides us from its end. One is reporting, one is batch execution, one is parallel execution, one is grouping of test cases, and the last one is parameterization. So see, I executed this particular testng file. Okay. One thing it showed me is the result of running testng classes. You see here, it showed me like how much passed, how much failed. Here it showed test case run 3, all got passed. So no failure, failure 0, skip 0. It showed me the details, how many test cases passed. It also showed me in a more detailed way, like this is the test cases 1, test case 2, test case 3, all passed. So it is green. If it would have been failed, it would have been red. We'll later see on how test case will fail, how test case will skip and all. Okay. Just now we will be acquainted with the execution, means with the procedure, how these annotations works. Later on we'll integrate our real-time scenario and we'll see test case will fail, test case will pass, and everything will happen. Now see, I told that testng has a important feature that it provides reporting from its end. So once I have executed my testng file, I just refresh the project. Now see, a test output folder will be created by its own, and it is created by testng itself. We don't create it out. Testng itself creates it once we do any testng execution. This is the feature it's provided by its own. So once we open that folder, what we'll see is there will be n number of folder in which there is immutable report.html. If you open it out, let's say I open it in Chrome. See, it also provided me a report with all the details, like this was the class, these are the test cases present inside the class, these all passed, and everything. How many time it took to execute. A detailed report it provided me. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Now, say I have.
So, sir, basically we have used methods inside this a particular class.
No,
These are the methods.
yeah, methods. These are the methods, but there are multiple point of execution. Here my first test case got automated. Here my second test case got automated. Here my third test case got automated, and all were independent of each other. If it fails, it doesn't affect test case 2 or test case 3, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
Like the, let's say first test case is place an order for laptop. Second is place an order for mobile. Third is place an order for TV. So for that, what I have to do first, yeah. So the first thing is what I'll be doing is first I will need to log into the application. Login. So these are my three test cases which I have automated. First is I need to place a laptop order, I need to place a mobile order, I need to place a TV order. So first thing I have to do is log into the application, then place the order, then log out. Similarly for mobile and TV. Got my point? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, my three test cases got executed. Log into the application, log out for laptop, for mobile, and for TV. But you will see that this particular means process, login and logout, is getting repeated in all the test cases. I don't need to, like, it will be easier for me if I don't write it again and again, because the same process is getting, what you can say, is repeated. Okay, so for that, TestNG provide me an annotation at the rate before method. If I keep this particular line of code, Control X. See, so what it will happen is, if I keep this particular line of code in before method, what it will do is it will execute it before every @test. So the one login which I have repeatedly written in every test cases, I don't need to write it repeatedly again. I just mention it before method, because this part of execution is getting repeated in every test cases. So if I write it in before method, it will get executed before every @test present in the class. See, I have this output: log into application, place an order, log out, log into application, place an order, log out. Now I removed every log into the application from all the @tests. Now let's see if it is the same output which I am expecting after deleting and just writing it a single time inside @before method. See, the login to the application is present for 3 times for 3 of the method. So what you saw is, instead of writing it multiple times, I just can have it a single time in before method. It will get executed before every @test being executed. Similarly, this point of execution also I can just write in after method.
Yes, sir.
See, here I wrote it after method. Let's see, it's getting executed after every @test or not. See, logout got executed after every @test. So the repeated works we can write it before method and after method. So what will happen is it will get executed before every method, every @ test, and after every @ test. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
now comes the question. I have told you that TestNG provide me the advantage of batch execution. So what is batch? Tell me what is batch? Batch is nothing that is a combination of set of files which is executed combiningly. That is called batch. Let's say, for example, I create another TestNG file. Just copy it out and paste it. Second. Okay. So this is also an what TestNG
Yes.
file for me,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
Just to have it differentiated after I execute it combiningly, just I am mentioning two. 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 Okay. So what is batch? Batch is, you can say in normal way, is a combination of set of files which get executed simultaneously. So to create a TestNG batch or suite, anything you can tell. Okay. So to create a TestNG suite, I just need to select the files which I want to combine in the suite. So I just want to combine first TestNG file and second TestNG file, and just right click on it, then go to TestNG option, then go to convert to TestNG. So what here it will happen is it will create me a batch file, and that batch file will be named as testng.xml. You can see both the class is present inside the batch file. If I run this particular batch file, you will see both of the test case will get executed simultaneously. So to run the batch, what I need to is right click, run as. Now see, TestNG suite option is present, TestNG suite instead of TestNG test, because this particular file is a TestNG suite. So if I run it, my both the batch file whose information is present inside the suite will get executed simultaneously. Now let's run it. Let's see. See, this is for the second file test cases. This is for the first file test cases. Both of them got run simultaneously. Got my point?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Yeah. So let's see some more annotations to have a more clear understanding. We saw @before method, @after method, @test. Now there is one more annotation, @test, before test and after test. So what it does? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now what happened is I wrote at the rate before test, at the rate after test, and there is two more annotation which we'll be using is at the rate before class similarly at the rate after class similarly. See, when I am hovering over it, there are two options present. One is JUnit at the rate after class, one is testng at the rate after class. You just imported the testng one. See, let's say before class I'm omitting. We'll see. See, once I hover, two options is present. One is JUnit and one is testng. You just import the testng one. Similarly, this is after class. There are two more is before suite suite and after suite. Control C. Okay, just let add all this in the second class also. Control C. Oh, this is in the second class only. Okay. Control V. Just give the numbering as 2 to differentiate it out during execution. 2, 2, 2. Okay. Now let's run the code. Let's run that suite class. Then we'll see which one is executing after what. So we'll be having a clear idea like which got executed after what and before what. Let me run it. Now see. The first thing which got executed when I started the suit is before suit. This is the before suit annotation of the first class. This is the before suit annotation of the second class. So these got executed before the suit execution is starting. So it is independent of the class which is present. It run for the whole suit. Okay. Now,
Okay.
now comes before test. This is after shoot, before test, before shoot, before test all get executed. Both the before test of the first class, before test of the second class, both of them got executed, and it is also independent of the class which is present. It's get executed for the whole shoot. Okay. Now comes before class. The next annotation which get executed is the before class, and it is not independent of all the class which is present in the suit. It is specific to the class in which it is present before it is because it is before class. Okay, these up to this much, these annotations are specific to the class. Only before shoot and before test is independent of the class which is present. It works for the whole suite, but before class, before method, and at the test, this and after test, after class, these all are dependent on the class in which it present. It works for that specific class. Only two, before shoot and before test, works for the whole suit independent of the class which is in which it is present. So after before test, my before class get executed, and suddenly after that you see my before method got executed, then at the rate test get executed, then at the rate after method got executed, again at the rate before method, at the rate test, then at the rate after method, again at the rate before method, at the rate test, at the rate after method, and then after class. In this, the second class, why my second class is getting executed first, because in my testng.xml I have put the information of second class first. If I put this tag above this one, then my first class will get executed, but my second test is present first, so it is getting executed first. Okay, now let's go to the output. Then in this particular code, what is done is my second class got executed fully. Now comes the first class. In the first class, again before class got executed, because it is specific to the class, then before method, then at the rate test, then after method, then again before method of the first class, then at the rate test of the first class, then after method of the first class, then again at the rate test before method of the first class, at the rate test of the first class, and at the rate after method of the first class, then at the rate after class of the first class.
Yes, sir.
So here what happened is my first class got executed. Then comes at the rate after test of the first class, at the rate after test of the second class, which is independent of the class, and it's for the whole classes present in the suit. Similarly, at the rate test after suit and of the first class, and at the rate after suit of the second class got executed. So you got the sequence and the availability of the annotations in the suite.
Yes, sir.
Got my point?
Yes, sir. So basically this is test, after test, before test, after method, before method, and after switch, before switch.
Yeah, first will be at the rate before suite, then at the rate before test, then at the rate before class, then at the rate before method, then at the rate test, then at the rate after method, then at the rate after test, sorry, at the rate after class, then at the rate after test, then at the rate after suite.
Switch. Got it, sir.
But these two at the rate suite and at the rate before test and at the rate after test, at the rate before suite and at the rate after suite are independent of the classes in which it has present. It works for the whole suite, but at the rate before class, at the rate after class, at the rate before method, at the rate after method, and at the rate test, they are dependent on the class in which it is present. It runs for that specific class only. Got my point?
Yes, got it, sir.
Okay, this is the sequence of executions of the annotations present inside the TestNG class. And when you run them combiningly inside a suite. So you will see the new report would have been generated. See, one more folder got added, that is suite, because we are running suite. Earlier we are running the individual TestNG class, but now we run the TestNG suite. So a new suite folder got added to the TestNG output class, and that my same, I can see my report from that folder file. See, here my report is generated in which I have two. This is the suite report. So I have two TestNG classes. They are separated using different color code, and all the @test present inside it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Let's say I remove them. There might be a question in your mind, right? If my @test are not present, will my @before method, @after method will get executed? There must be a question in your mind. Let's say, for example, I remove all the @test of the second class. Okay, only other annotation are present. If I run the annotation inside the TestNG class, whose noise is that reconnecting noise? See, before suite and before test of both the classes got executed. Before class of, see here, what you saw the change is without before class, after class, and before method and after method don't got executed, because I have removed it for the second TestNG file. My say before class, before method, after class, after method of my second TestNG file didn't got executed. Got my point? Only
Yes, sir.
before test, after test, before suit, after suit got executed, because it is independent of the classes. So without @test, my before method, before class, after method, after class will not get executed. Okay.
Suppose there are 4 to 5 files like this, and if you remove all those after test and before test on all these methods, then all 5 files will be affected like this way.
I didn't remove after method, before method. I removed @test. In the second file, I removed @test. Without @test, my method after method, before class. See, these two will not be executed if @test is not present, and these two will also not be executed if @test is not present. That's why you see this is before class, this is after class, and log into the application 2, log out to the application 2 is not present in my execution console. Got my point?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
These 4 annotation are dependent on @test. If @test is present, then this 4 will get executed, else it will not get executed. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So this is pretty much about the annotations present in TestNG.